Welcome to Cinema Sluts, everyone. This is the first episode.
Yay!
Very exciting new
Extremely
little
exciting
thing. Yeah. I'm here with Nichole. I'm post this like catching up probably, so they'll see me. But if you don't know me, I'm Ethan Wagner. Very excited to do this new thing.
Yeah.
Today's episode, the first ever episode, we want to talk about the movies that stuck with us. We've both chosen movies for each other to watch.
We did. We had very different versions of things that stuck with us as well.
Yeah, very. Yours is sad. Yours is depressing.
Mine was extremely depressing, and Ethan's was extremely confusing. So.
Yeah. Okay. So we won't jump into it quite yet, but spoiler alert for I Saw a TV Glow and for Fruitvale Station, which.
Guess who picked which one, if you've seen them before?
Yeah. I mean, I can guess why you chose your option as to why it stuck with you. But out of all movies, why was that the one that you...
Well, I've only seen Fruitvale Station twice in my entire life, and both times I've seen it, the first time I was maybe 14.
Okay.
And my sister was watching it, and I showed up like halfway through, and I saw the end of it. And
Spoiler.
I didn't even know any of the plot, and I just saw the ending, and I started sobbing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
And then I decided to watch it again about a year ago, because I remembered it, and I watched the full story, and it made me think a lot more and sob even harder.
Okay. That's fair. Okay, yeah. It just took you out. This movie took you out.
Extremely intensely.
That's fair. Well, okay, yeah, because yours came out in 2013.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And the one I chose for Nichole to watch was I Saw the TV Glow.
Which came out this year.
This year. Very new.
We chose very different time frames. I didn't know we were supposed to pick something recent.
No, I mean, it's fine. Like, yours was a good choice.
Sick.
Yeah. No, mine is weird. I think mine
very trippy.
Very trippy. I think it's a very pretty movie. I think
definitely.
Out of everything I took out of it, it was the visuals. Mm-hmm. But I think when I first watched it, I didn't like it that much, actually.
I didn't I'll get into that, but I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. We'll get into it. But it's definitely grown on me, and I think that's why I chose it. It was a movie that I think about kind of semi-regularly, I think. Not every day.
How long ago did you see it? For the first time?
I think pretty close to when it came out.
Didn't it come out?
It came out over the summer.
I don't know if it was that. I don't know why I had a feeling it was May. Was it May?
No, because I saw it with Blake, and Blake wasn't here yet.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It was like...
Hi, Blake.
Yeah, shout out to Blake producing. It's... I think in July, maybe? Mm-hmm. I don't know. And honestly, we saw it on a whim because it was so popular on TikTok. It was kind of blowing up.
Really? I've never heard about it on TikTok.
Really? No, it kept showing up on my feed.
I only started seeing it recently, when I would just go on Max to watch something I would see recommended. Oh,
yeah. No, yeah, it was all over my TikTok, and people were like, I'm crying over this movie. And I'm like, okay.
Really?
Yeah, people were crying over it, and I'm like,
damn.
Okay.
Did you cry over it?
No. Because I'm not a pussy, but no.
So you're a sociopath.
Well, no, but I didn't cry over it. Mm-hmm. But it was all over my TikTok, so I'm like, well, let's go see it. There's also a small little theater down yonder in Charlotte that I wanted to go to. So it was kind of just a good excuse because they only showed 2 movies there. So we're like, and that was one of the movies. So we're like, let's go to that.
Out of curiosity, remember what was the other one?
I don't know. One that I didn't care about. I don't think.
Because I was gonna say, imagine if it was like that in a children's movie. That's an insane combo.
No, I don't know what it was. To be fair, the place.
How?
They'll because it's an A24 movie, so it's more, I guess, mainstream.
I did not know that either.
Yeah. So it's a little more mainstream, but I think the place that we watched it, their main thing is to find movies that are less known or whatever, or that did good in film festivals but aren't mainstream. Okay. So that was kind of their whole thing. So it was probably like a film festival movie.
Okay.
But yeah, any other movies that you've seen recently?
I'm trying to think of things like that I've watched for the first time recently.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really trying to think about it because I don't watch a lot of new things that come out because a lot of newer movies fucking suck ass.
That's fair.
But I really don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Is there anything else that you've seen recently though?
I'm trying to think. I was telling you this earlier when I was at your apartment. That my parents, when I came home from work last night, were watching a movie called Deliverance. Which you said was an older movie, so I mean, I don't know if it's a remake.
It was not like extremely old, but I know I've heard about it for a while though.
Yeah, well, because this one came out, I think, maybe even a few weeks ago. It's new to this year, and it had a sequence in it, which this is like when I first came in from work because they got Jimmy John's. I'm so spoiled.
So spoiled.
I'm so spoiled. So I was eating my sub. And watching the sequence, and it was a really cool sequence actually, because I think from the small little snippet that I saw of it, it's kind of a tropey premise, but it's like this mom moves into a house with her kids. I think the dad's overseas, and she lives there with her mom. Her mom has cancer, and I don't know, but the house is haunted by a demon, and
typical shit,
and tropey, and then the kids, I think, are like getting possessed, or one of them in particular is getting possessed. But there's a sequence, which is the one that when I first walked in, where I think all the kids are at school, and then one of the kids, she's like in choir, and she has her period, which is like whatever. But then
which is wild,
crazy, dude. The demon gave her womanhood. Anyway. But
wild big bird.
But then at the same time, she's having her period. Then one of the sons, the older son, like the teacher is like giving this history lesson. I think she's talking about AIDS, and then the son's laughing about AIDS, and the teacher's like,
because it's so
funny. And the teacher was like, hey, don't laugh about that. My brother died of it. And then he laughs in her face. I'm like, that's so based, actually. That wasn't even the demon. He just did that. And then the youngest kid is like, I have to go to the bathroom. The teacher's like, well, just hold it. And then he pulls his pants down and shits, and then throws his shit at the teacher. And I'm like, what is this fucking movie?
I thought you were going to say that the kid just like peed on the floor saying it. I was about to say like a kid did that in my apartment parking lot the other day.
No.
I thought it was normal.
He threw his shit. Yeah, so I saw that. I'm like, oh, that was like kind of an attention grabber. Like, I don't know how far into the movie that was. It was. I'm like, how many movies do you see a kid throwing his fucking doo-doo, you know? But, so it was. I was kind of
like into it.
No, I'm not into it in that way. But it was. But no, not a but. It grabbed my attention. And so I sat down and I continued watching it with my parents, but then it started fucking blowing ass. Like, it sucked. It sucked. And,
damn.
Because there's a part in it where the grandma, I think it's a grandma, she's like home by herself, and then the power goes out, and then she gets attacked by something. And
that is so funny.
It's so silly. And then you see like this spectral entity, which I think they mentioned that like the demon, I don't know if it's a demon or just like a ghost kid. Whatever. But it's like, it shows the monster, I think, too much. It's kind of cheesy. The demon like will possess like the grandma and is like, fuck you, bitch. I'm like, that's funny. That's funny for a demon to say. It's actually like kind of hilarious. I don't know. I just think it's like a movie where it's like The Conjuring kind of did it better. And even The Conjuring can be kind of silly, I guess.
I feel like that, like what you just said, that feels very The Exorcist though. When she just out of nowhere is like, her mother sucks cocks in hell. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I think it probably got some inspiration from that, but it reminded me of Conjuring, just like they move into a house and then it's fucking possessed.
But something wild happens.
Yeah, exactly. Even though we watched The Conjuring semi-recently.
Yeah.
And
it's like, still good.
It's still good, but yeah, I think when you know the scares, I think when I watched it when it first came out, which I was a kid when it first came out, but it was like, that movie stuck with me.
Oh, such a fucking good movie. The sequels, on the other hand...
No, sequels suck.
Sequels
suck
are ass.
Yeah, no. Well, okay. Who was it? Was it you? Or was it Matthew who wanted to see the second one, who liked the second one? I guess you don't like the second one because you just said it was ass.
All the sequels to The Conjuring fucking suck to me. But I've seen bits and pieces of Annabelle. It's okay. I didn't like it that much, though. But I think Matthew wanted to.
Yeah, Matthew, I think, wanted to see the second one.
Matthew's a friend of ours.
Love Matthew.
We love Matthew.
Love Matthew. Yeah, no, because the second one, I think, in my opinion, worst one. Third one?
Really?
Yeah, third one's kind of...
I forgot there was a third one.
Well, the third one is, like, not even scary as much as it is kind of an action movie, almost. Which I think is fun. But, yeah.
But we have other movies to talk about.
We do have other movies to talk about. I was just about to say. So we want to start with Fruitvale, or we want to start with I Saw TV Glow, or what are you thinking?
I think we should start with Fruitvale, because I feel like Fruitvale is more depressing. Depressing note.
Okay.
I Saw the TV Glow is more of a fucked note.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Go ahead. Since you have watched it for the first time, explain the plot to
everyone.
Yeah.
So
everyone being Blake.
Everyone, yeah. Shout out to the 5 people watching this. 3 of them are me.
It's just me watching it repeatedly.
Yeah. I'm getting my views up. Yeah. Okay. So Fruitvale Station it's based off of a real event, I guess, which I didn't know until I saw this movie.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I found that out the hard way.
Yeah. Which is based in Oakland, California. It
Forgot
follows,
that too.
Yeah. Damn, I know everything about this fucking movie. I was there. Well,
okay.
Anyway. No, it follows Oscar Grant, who in the movie is played by Michael B. Jordan.
Movie that kicked off Michael B. Jordan's movie career. If you didn't know.
Actually, yeah, and the director is Ryan Coogler, who did Black Panther.
And the second Black Panther as well.
Yeah, and he's doing another one.
He also did Creed.
He did do Creed.
I think.
Yeah, he did.
He works
do Creed.
with Michael B. Jordan a lot.
Well, I saw the Joker too. Dog fucking hated it.
We'll get to that one.
Yeah. Fuck. But one of the previews, before the movie was for a new Michael B. Jordan movie. I can't remember what it's called. I think it has vampires or something in it. But Michael B. Jordan's
sick.
I'm kind of looking forward to it. But it's also, I think, by Ryan Coogler. So I'm looking forward to that one.
I think that, sorry to interrupt you, I think that Fruitvale Station, fun fact, was also Ryan Coogler's directing debut.
Oh, really?
Well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It just blew up everyone's careers.
Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler took off after that.
Took off, dude. I don't know what Octavia Spencer was doing. She
won her Oscar, I think, a year before that.
Okay. I know she was in an episode of Wizards of Waverly Place.
I did not know that. That is so fucking
awesome.
Sick.
Yeah, but, okay. So it follows Oscar Grant, who, he just got out of prison. I don't remember why. I think maybe for drugs or something, because he sells drugs later in the movie.
I don't think they really get into it.
Yeah, okay.
I could be wrong about that. I don't think they really talk about why.
Right. But he's out of jail, and he's trying to get back on his feet. He worked at a grocery store or a deli, but he can't get the job back because he was late and just, not a great employee, I guess. And then it's really like a slice of life movie.
Oh, yeah. It definitely is.
And it's kind of just like seeing this guy being like a good person to his daughter.
And trying to get his shit together.
Yeah, he's just trying to get his life together. Yeah. There's a part in it which it happened why? The dog. Is this a dog? And
we can't get to that. You need to finish talking about the plot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We will get there, I promise.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, he's pretty much just trying to get his life together. It's about to be New Year's Eve, and he's at a family party, and he's talking to his mom about the plans, and his mom, played by wow, fuck, dude, words are difficult, aren't they?
Words are hard today.
Words are so hard. No, okay, his mom, played by Octavia Spencer, tells him, hey, if you're drinking, I don't want you out, driving around. You should take the train.
Just trying to be a good mother.
Yeah, just trying to fucking help him out. And he's kind of hesitant about it, but then he does. And then they go out. It shows them out on the town, and then they're on the train. It hits New Year's. and he sees this guy from prison who it shows a flashback where he was talking to his mom.
Beautiful scene, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah. Where he's talking to his mom, and this inmate is like, "I'm gonna fuck your mom," and then
I love how you said it's a beautiful scene and you jumped right to that part.
Yeah. And then,
that's not why it's beautiful.
No, but anyway. And so he's like, "I'm gonna beat your ass," whatever.
He gets jumped.
And then on the subway, they get into a little scuffle, little fight, and then they get broken up. But then the cops are called, and then they're at Fruitvale Station, and they're trying to leave to avoid the cops. But then the cops catch him and his friends, and
only them.
Yeah, only them. Even though the other guy instigated it, but whatever. He was just trying to live his life. And then they detain them, and then one of the cops is, well, all the cops suck, but like,
oh yeah,
one of them's holding him down, and then the other one, I guess it's said later on that
said that he thought he was pulling out his taser.
Yeah, but it's this fucking gun.
It's a fucking gun.
And he shoots him in the back, and he doesn't die instantly. They take him to the hospital, but his lungs failed, and he ultimately dies. And it's just so depressing. And then it shows like the real kind of event, the aftermath, his real life daughter. Depressing fucking movie.
Very depressing movie. I fully admit that. That's why I even said to you before you watch it, I'm letting you know it's hardcore shit.
Yes.
But let's get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I liked it a lot. I think, especially if that's a direct. Fuck. Shit, dude. All right.
This is gonna be so fun to edit.
Oh fuck, dude. Especially as a directorial debut. Fuck, dude, it's tough out here. And I don't know if that was like, I know you said it's his breakout role. I don't know if he was in anything else. Michael B. Jordan. I don't know.
I remember hearing that he was in like TV shows and things when he was young, but I feel like that he might have played like minor parts and things, but that was really the movie that kind of set off his
career.
Like movie career.
Okay, yeah, because he killed it.
Oh, he killed it.
The only like real like complaint I had when I watched it.
I want to hear about it because I feel like we might have a similar complaint.
Okay, they said "bruh" 1,000 times.
That's not what I was going to go for.
Okay, well that was my complaint. Which like maybe that was his real life vernacular. I don't know, but I'm like, okay, why is this half the script is "bruh"? Which like me too, kind of, but
I can't talk shit. I do the same thing. But
no, what's your gripe with it?
The only thing that I didn't really, there's one scene in it that I thought was that it kind of made it shift a little bit into a little bit cliche, is the scene where he's talking to his daughter before he leaves. I think that scene was so unnecessary.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Because I feel like it's very on the nose, that it's like, oh, Dad, I hear guns outside. I'm afraid. And he's like, I'm going to be fine. And I'm like,
yeah.
First of all, I could be way off. Sorry if anybody is offended by that. I doubt that scene ever happened. Yeah. Because it felt so on the nose.
Well, so we had this conversation.
Same thing with the dog thing that you were talking about before.
Yeah. Which, for context, there's a scene where he's getting gas at the gas station, and there's a dog, it's just a dog that comes up to him, and then the dog runs into the street and gets hit by a car, so he picks the dog up and, tries to get it help, but, it's dead, so he can't really do anything. Yeah. And honestly, can I be so real? I was thinking about the,
Definitely.
How that scene plays out and, what that actually, affects in the movie. I'm sure, maybe there's some symbolism to it or whatever.
Oh, there definitely is.
Yeah. But really the only thing that it affects is he gets blood on his shirt. Mm-hmm. His daughter's like, "What's that on your shirt?" He's like, "I gotta change shirts." And then I think he fucks his wife.
It's not his wife, it's his girlfriend.
Oh, his girlfriend. Yeah, that's right. It is his girlfriend.
I mainly think that the symbolism with that scene is kind of when the dog is dying, that he wasn't quick enough to have anything help him. Kind of like how when he's dying at the end, it wasn't quick enough. I feel like that, I could be off, but I feel like that was more the symbolism for it.
It definitely could have been. I was also thinking he's helping this stray dog. He doesn't have any reason to, or he's trying to help the stray dog, so it kind of builds his character as being this really
And
genuine
also
person.
with the fact that it was also a hit and run. Yeah. I feel like that might have had symbolism to it also.
True.
Because of the fact that it's like the person who did it didn't
care at all. Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of connects to his death later. Which
also bullshit. It says at the end, the fucking cop, he like was sentenced for 2 years. He got out in less than a year.
Oh yeah, another thing that they didn't mention at the end of it that I found out after Googling a lot of shit after the second time I watched it, he tried to become a cop again and thought he would be fine with that.
No, guys, I swear this time. Guys, I swear this time. Like, it won't think it's a fucking taser.
I'm not laughing at the situation. I'm laughing at how insane that is.
That's crazy.
But the thing is, I mentioned this movie to you. Oh, I don't even know if you remember. I mentioned this movie to you a while ago. I didn't tell you to watch it. We were just talking about like top 3 favorite movies of ours, and I said that was my number 3.
Yeah.
I put it so high because even though I don't watch it a lot, I feel like first of all that's a movie that everybody should see at least once.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not getting into anything, but no matter what you agree with in life, I feel like no matter how you feel, I feel like we can all agree that situation was wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing is, too, there's so many scenes in the movie, like besides like the one that I mentioned that I didn't like that much, there's so many scenes that are fantastic.
Yeah,
in the movie.
I was thinking too, just like in terms of like. Because it does have, like, obviously it has this story, but this story is of a much bigger problem.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking, I'm like, would this, like, if it was a documentary, would it have hit as hard? And I was like, oh, because when I was watching
Honestly, probably not.
I don't think so, because when I was watching it, I'm like, yeah, like, you hear about it on the news all the time. It's like I don't care, but when you see it, it does just hit a lot harder. And I think that this movie does do its job.
Oh, very much. And that's the thing that I was going to get to. The thing that is so genius about, like, the entire movie's plot, how it shows the last day in his life, is, like, it shows how he kind of got there also with everything that he went through where he was in prison and everything, his relationship with his mother and his girlfriend and all that stuff. And then when it gets to the scene where he unfortunately gets shot, it shows that it's like the viewer knows everything that happened to him, but shows that the cops didn't know anything.
Right.
It kind of shows that it's like there's really no justice for what happened because the cops didn't know who he was. They didn't know anything about him. They didn't know if he went to jail or not. They didn't know if he was like a good person or not. They just judged and they did what they did.
That's true.
And it's terrible. But let's please talk about some scenes that we like in it because there's so much I have to say.
Okay. What's a favorite scene for you?
One of my favorite scenes that I mentioned before is the scene where his mother, it's a flashback and his mother visits him in prison.
Yeah.
I think that scene is shot so phenomenally and also with the unfortunate ending after he passes away.
Yeah.
How the end of the flashback scene, it kind of connects with that because we are spoiling so much, but we have to. It's a podcast.
We have to. It's what this is about.
In the scene, it's like that his mom visits him in prison. Apparently he's been there multiple times.
Yeah.
And his mom is getting fed up with it because he's not being there for his daughter. He's not being there for his girlfriend. He's not being involved in anything, but he keeps getting into trouble. Mm-hmm. And his mom says that she's not visiting him anymore. And she leaves without hugging him. And you could tell it breaks his heart because he freaks out and everything. And then at the end, when he passes away and his mother's at the hospital and she wants to see him and all she wants to do is hug him. It's just,
and he can't.
It's such a flashback to that scene because it's like, you think about what you could have done in the moment. You think of all the times that you could have had, like, held somebody and things like that. And it's like, and now you don't even have that option anymore. You take everything for kind of granted. It's such a well-done connection in the movie. I'm
just actually so stupid. I didn't even, like, piece it together until...
Jesus.
No, okay.
You might have been film.
Okay. To be fair, to be fair... Watching this scene, and this is just so, like, Zoomer brand, and, like, I know it's impactful, I get it. That scene in the prison where he was like, can I get a hug? And I'm like, where am I hugging?
You are such an asshole.
Yeah, that was the only thing I could think of.
So insightful right now.
I know, and you're doing a great job. I didn't realize that until, because I watched it with Blake and I watched it with Cameron, and Cameron... Because Blake didn't realize it either. He fucking studied film too. Okay, but
what's wrong with everybody? God damn it, Blake.
But Cameron fucking realized it, and Cameron said it. I'm like, oh, that.
Where's Cameron?
Yeah, she's making ziti right now.
She's heating up the ziti.
Wait, you're making ziti. Yeah, I don't want to take credit away from you. Yeah. But yeah, she said that. I'm like, oh, that does hit like a lot harder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, I like the scene with Katie where he meets Katie in the grocery store. I think that's a really fun scene.
There's so much connection in the movie, too. Yeah. That has to do with later also.
Yeah. Which Katie comes back.
I felt so bad for her, too.
Yeah, she comes back at the end.
She didn't even mean to do anything wrong.
No. She filmed it.
No, that's the thing, which, thank God.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, because he meets this woman, Katie, in the store, and he tries to help her buy some stuff at the fish market.
And then he has to call the grandma. His grandma.
Such a cool woman.
No, apparently. She's so fucking sick.
So sick. But he runs into Katie again on the train when he's on his way home, and she calls his name out, and that's how the people that were in prison recognized him. It was so innocent and harmless. Mm-hmm. She was literally just saying hi to him because she recognized him from the store, and he helped her out so much. And her just saying that caused everything to kind of erupt on the train, because that's how the people from the prison recognized him.
Yeah. Which kind of sucks. It's like it's so unfortunate.
Because that's the thing, she didn't even mean anything by it. That's so sad.
She's just a homie. Yeah. I was like, fuck. I had a thought, and then Cameron fucking came in here and interrupted my fucking train of thought.
There's that smooth transition.
Smooth transition. No, I was like, this scene is like so cool. Mm-hmm. But then I can't fucking think of it.
Well, you talked about the dog.
No, it was like, fuck, because we were talking about when we talked about Where My Hug At. And I was thinking of it. Mm-hmm. I should have just held on to it. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, one thing that I definitely want to talk about, even though it's the hardest scene in the movie, I like how at the very beginning of the movie, like right before the title card, it shows the video of the actual
really shows
incident.
The thing, yeah.
It doesn't show him getting shot, but you hear it.
But you hear it.
And are we not going to talk about the fact that they matched that video for like that scene shot for shot?
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Like that's.
I mean, like it's bad. It's a bad thing, but
it's
like
unfortunate.
It's shot
but
really
it was
well.
It was shot so well done. And when people want to say like, oh, there's parts in the movie that aren't accurate, blah blah, I'm like that part, the part that mattered the most.
I think that's too. We were talking about when we watched it. Cameron wasn't a fan. I'm gonna out fucking Cameron right now. She wasn't a fan of the ending because she.
Well, yeah, because it's sad.
Well, because it's sad, but also she thought like, because it ends on a shot of his girlfriend and their daughter, and the daughter's like, "Where's Dad?" or something like that.
I didn't like that ending either. That's very funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah, Cameron wanted there to be more shots of them grieving and like just all of his friends maybe grieving or
whatever. I honestly think it would have been better, like thinking about it like that, because I think that's actually very smart. Mm-hmm. I think it would have been better to have the ending scene be showing them all kind of go home after what happened.
Yeah.
Like show, like kind of cut to like the mom going home, then like some of his friends going home, then his girlfriend and like having to pick up their daughter. I feel like it would have been better to capture everybody's grief rather than just.
I think because
girlfriend.
I do kind of agree with that. I do see that from like a narrative standpoint of seeing all these characters' reaction.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking too, like it's a real thing, and then I don't know if all those characters are real people or not. Like I don't know if Katie's a real person, and so like
I'm not sure if Katie's a real person. I know that, but the people that were at the hospital
are real.
I think all those people are real because you even seen the real video that he was with friends.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah,
and obviously like his mother was there and everything. So it's like I feel like it would have made more sense to show that rather than just showing the girlfriend go home. The girlfriend has a name. What's her name? I remember everybody else's name but her, and I feel so bad.
Shit, what is her name? I'm gonna Google it.
I'm Googling it too. Where's my phone?
It's in there.
Her name was Sophina in the movie.
That's right.
Sophina.
Correct.
God, that doesn't bother me. But I feel like it would have been better than just showing Sophina go home, because I feel like we saw all of Oscar's day, and then when it ended, I feel like we should have seen everybody else's to kind of include the rest of the cast a little more.
Yeah. I think I can definitely agree with that. I mean, it is definitely like a tribute to Oscar, and it's like it's his movie, you know what I mean? So like I do get. I mean, obviously he's the main character, but like maybe it's not about everyone else. Like they are.
I understand that too.
They're important, but they're not as important, you know.
No, I completely understand that, but let's go to final thoughts.
Yes.
Because we're going to cut into our I saw the TV glow time.
Yeah, okay.
And I know you want to talk about it.
Absolutely. Final thoughts. Super fucking sad.
Fucking sad.
It came out in 2013. I think for the context of the time, I think police brutality wasn't talked about as much.
It was not talked about nearly enough, which in a weird way, I feel like that gave the movie a lot more of its honesty.
I'm sure. And it stood out, I'm sure, a lot more.
Oh, it definitely did. And for me personally, the two people who stole the show most were Octavia Spencer and Michael B. Jordan by far.
Oh, easily.
By far.
Yeah. Dude, Octavia, if no one else's performance made me tear up a little bit, it was Octavia Spencer's.
She killed it.
Oh, she fucking crushed it. I didn't know she had it in her. I'm like...
Well, she did just win an Oscar for
that. I didn't know that, frankly. I don't actually know, other than she was in Ma, that movie, that horror movie.
She was in the movie The Help, that's the one that she won the Oscar for.
That's right. Yeah, she was in that.
I'm going to make you watch that at some point,
too.
It's fantastic.
Actually. I've heard it's good. I've seen clips of it. But yeah.
I think you'd like it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's go into I Saw the TV Glow.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I Saw the TV Glow. I explained the plot of Fruitvale Station. I would love to hear you explain the plot.
I'm going to give a disclaimer. This plot is a bitch to explain.
Yeah. I watched it again last night to refresh my memory. And the whole time I was watching it, and once you've seen it, you know what's gonna happen. But watching for the first time is such a fever dream. I can't wait to hear your best attempt.
So, I Saw the TV Glow is about this. He starts out as a kid, and he finds out about this TV show. What was it called? The Pink Opaque?
Pink Opaque, yeah.
He finds out about this TV show called The Pink Opaque from this creepy teenage girl. Didn't she go to school or something?
Yeah.
I don't know where he found her, but he found her.
They were at
something.
They were at a voting thing. I think they were at an election poll.
Yeah.
Because both their parents were voting. Because he was in middle school and she was in high school. She was
okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Thank you.
Maddie and Owen.
But he meets her and she introduced him to this show that comes on later at night called The Pink Opaque, and he watches it for the first time with her, and ever since then he and her both become kind of obsessed with it, that it kind of throws them off from reality of what's happening in their lives to what's happening in the show and how it kind of affects them. I think that's the best explanation I can give. It's very vague.
It's not bad, but yeah.
It's so complex.
It is. It especially once you understand it and you watch it, because this
bold of you to think I understand it.
Okay. Well, okay. So this is why...
I watched it for the first time yesterday.
I watched it last night, so no, okay. So, it stuck with me because, one, it is visually, I think, super pretty.
Fantastic.
But also, story-wise, you don't know what's happening when you're watching it. And it's something you really have to kind of think about to be like, oh, this was this and this was, So that's why it stuck with me, because it's just... It lives rent-free in my head.
I get it.
I love that. Yeah.
I can definitely see that after watching the movie. It might take me a minute to kind of get to that point, but I think I agree with you completely that I think it was stunning visually shot. I think that my favorite camera shots were a lot of the ones where it shows Owen, that's the main character, him just walking.
Yeah.
I think those shots are done so well.
Yeah.
Because it kind of it kind of goes in with the theme, because it's kind of also that he's trapped in the movie in a way. It's a little bit like Truman Show, I guess.
Kinda.
In some kind of way. That's...
Well, I was watching it again last night, and like I said, 5 fucking times. But I realized that, because they are these characters that are in the Midnight Realm, I think they call it. And it's season 5 of this show just ended. Yeah. And now season 1 is about to start, and so now it is just these characters trying to...
Wait, season 1? What?
So, because in the movie...
This is why I'm saying I don't know what the hell happened.
Okay, yeah. So Owen, the main character... God, okay, yeah. So Owen, the main character, is Isabella from the Pink Opaque show. Yeah. And what we think is real life is the Midnight Realm, and what's the TV show is their actual reality. Okay. And Tara, whatever her name is Maddie or whatever. And God, this is such a fucking confusing
movie. This is what I'm saying, because I don't know what the hell you're saying right now.
Okay. Yeah. So what is it called? Mr. Melancholy is the villain
that
in this
moon
movie.
thing.
The moon guy. Who's like the big bad of this TV show that they watch, is the one that trapped them in the Midnight Realm, which is reality, which is the real life. And they're trying to get back to the Pink Opaque show, which is their actual real life.
Okay.
And so they have to, I guess they have to do that through killing themselves too, which they talk about a little bit. But yeah, so they talk about in the movie that when Maddie leaves town, it's the show gets canceled or whatever, and it ends on the last episode of season 5, and then
where they get buried.
Where they get
everything.
buried, yeah. And so season 6 is coming on, and they're trying to get back. It's because I think it has the title at some point in the movie where they're trying to get back to their real lives.
Yeah.
So I think that's really fascinating. I just think it's such an interesting.
It's a very interesting movie.
I think it's such a fun concept. I think shut the fuck up. Someone's texting.
Phone's on the table.
I know.
So disrespectful.
So disrespectful. Who put that there? No, but it's because it also uses a bunch of different media. Like I remember watching it in theaters, and then all of a sudden it just jumps to like this 90s fucking TV show theme, and then it's just like the beginning of a TV show. I'm like, oh, we're watching a show now. Or then there's like they go to a bar, and then it's just like a music video for a second. Like this is a concert with Phoebe Bridgers. She's there.
So sick.
So fun. I think it's because I asked if you watched it with Colton, your fiance.
Colton's my fiance.
Yeah. Because Owen's dad is played by Limp Bizkit, which I think is super funny.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think that's
How
really
did
funny.
I not notice that?
Which, I mean, to be fair, he doesn't like barely talks in the movie.
No, I don't think he does.
I think he says one word.
I didn't notice.
He says, because it's Owen's in high school at this point, and they're going home from something, and he asks his mom if he can watch the Pink Opaque. And then the one fucking, it's kind of funny. He turns around and he's like, isn't that a show for girls or whatever? I'm like, okay. He's a silly guy.
But I do want to get into my thoughts on it because I watched it for the first time. I think there were parts of it that were very interesting. I think the first, and I'm going to get a lot of criticism from you.
Okay.
I think the first half of the movie is pointless.
Okay.
I think majority of it is useless because, and again, I was talking about this with you before. I'm being a little bit of a tough critic with this movie. The actress who played Maddie did a terrible job.
Yeah, you didn't like
she did a terrible job. I feel like you could tell so obviously that she was acting, and it wasn't even like in the interesting way that it's like, oh, it's exaggerated for the movie. It just didn't really fit for me.
Yeah.
But after she was gone completely, I feel like Justice Smith, the one who played Owen, was really able to kind of take the movie full on. I think the ending's fantastic.
The ending's really cool.
The ending is so good.
When I first watched the ending, I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't expect it to just end like that. I thought, like, we were going to see...
Is it bad that I laughed at it, though?
No, I mean, it's kind of goofy. Like, it is. I remember we watched it. He yells at the party. Yeah, I'm dying. And then...
Explain it to our 5 viewers.
So at the end, he ages rapidly because this isn't their reality. And so,
which is so wild.
Yeah. And so he's much older than his coworkers, which I forgot about until I watched it last night.
I just kicked the table completely.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, like he ages so fast.
Yeah.
Which they mention in the movie, but...
Which is so fucking sick, too.
Yeah.
That it's like, it keeps on jumping because so many years.
Because he's dying, you know?
Exactly, because, like, that's kind of, like, even though I don't think that happened in Truman Show, but that's weirdly enough kind of thing that reminded me of it, because it's like, every time the years jump, he's the only one that ages, and everybody around him kind of just stays the same.
Right.
And I'm like, it's kind of like that Truman Show thing where it's like, oh, his life is the movie. He's starting to become aware of, like, the whole, like film
it's
thing.
Fake now.
I also think one thing that's really cool that is that might seem very minor, I love the scene where after his father died, and he said, he's like, I took the house, I have a family, I love more than anything. They never show the family. They
never show the family.
Which I think is so genius, but so subtle.
And I think it's interesting, too, because there's a point when he's talking to Maddie on the bleachers, and Maddie thinks he's flirting with her, and she's like, I like girls. You know, I like girls, right? And then she's like, well, do you like girls? He's like, I don't know. And
I like TV shows.
And then, yeah, you like boys? He's like, I think I like TV shows. I'm like, that's so base.
That is so me.
And so I think it's kind of funny to like see that scene, and then he's like, I have a family. He's like, with who?
With
like,
what?
With what? Yeah.
It ain't Maddie.
It ain't Maddie, dude. She likes girls.
She likes girls, and she's buried in the ground right now.
Yeah, no, she's dead now. Yeah, this is true.
But I think that small detail is so important because it just shows that it's like, it just shows how his reality is distorting so bad.
Right.
That's like, he says he has family, but there is no family. Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Which is so insane.
It's kind of fun, this movie. Like, after I watched it, the way it's like pieced together in my head is like I'm like, oh, this stunning shot. Oh, and it has this context to it. It's like I can't remember, like I couldn't remember the exact order because it feels like it's so surreal.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So I guess back to the end of the movie, he screams at this party
because he works at a like little fun
like a fun zone place, and he's at a birthday party.
He looks older than God. He looks like shit at the end of the movie.
It's so fucking weird because he's like 22 for a big chunk, and then it says 20 years later, so he's like 40 something. But he looks like he's 80.
Oh my God, do you know what grossed me out so bad? This is such a stupid thing to talk about. His fucking lips, his cracked ass lips.
That did stress me out too, though. Well, then, okay, so he's like, I'm dying. He's at this party, and then everyone kind of shuts off. Like, they all turn off.
Which is so insane.
Yeah. And then it cuts to him in the bathroom, and his manager's checking on him, and whatever. He's like, I'll be out in a minute. And then there's a part, it's the same part where he's on the bleachers, and he's like, I feel empty or whatever inside.
Yeah.
And then in this scene at the end, he like has his box cutter, and he just cuts himself open.
And he just like...
It's just like static and like TV stuff.
I just realized something that makes so much sense, and it's so stupid. I just put like two and two together, I think. I think what's called like, because I remember with the whole thing with his family, and I remember when because he originally worked at a movie theater, and then it got closed down or something.
Yeah.
And his boss only took him to work somewhere, but when it shows that he's working, everybody that he worked with before is still there.
Oh, really?
And that's not the thing I didn't notice.
Yeah.
That's not the thing I just noticed. But after he talks about having a family and everything, and that whole plot line with like his job changing, he starts to watch the Pinko Pig again. I think that because there's a scene in the movie where doesn't he like put his head in the TV or some shit?
Yeah, he smashed his head in the TV.
I think that was him breaking out of the like
he
movie
finally
thing.
gets it.
And then that's why he has a family and
oh yeah, because then
everything.
the Pinko Pig is like
and
on
then
a
when he
streaming
starts
service.
and then when he starts watching it again, then he gets
bad.
kind of wrapped into like I just put that together now.
That's fair.
Whoa.
I didn't think about that. That is yeah. That probably is it.
Oh my God. I feel so smart.
Fucking detective. Yeah, no, but because
I'm so proud of myself for that. I'm so sorry.
The one thing that I just like was because I watched it when I watched it again was when he walks out after he cuts himself open. So he like realizes like, oh,
yeah.
He's like apologizing to all his coworkers,
everybody,
and then that's when
none of them turn around.
None of them talk to him.
Which I think is so funny because I think that might be him kind of breaking out of it again, maybe. Kind of like when the movie's so wild. We're explaining it so poorly.
Yeah, okay. For the record.
Please explain it. You've watched it more times than me. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
This is a movie that you should not be fucking
I thought you were just going to say this is a movie.
This is a movie. This is a movie. No, this is a movie that like you should go and watch before you listen to anyone talk about it because it is such a fun experience to try and piece together what the fuck is happening. Because even like the scene in the what do you call it with the stars thing where she's giving the big monologue, kind of explaining how she found out that it's fake.
I hated that scene.
Okay. I kind of think it's a pretty scene. I don't mind that scene.
I was going to say.
But
I was talking about it with you in the apartment. Is that the scene where she's like, I pissed myself. I shit my pants.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that is kind of goofy because I did think that last night. I'm like, okay, dude. Me too. Join the fucking club, dude.
Welcome to my weekends.
Yeah. I'm doing that right now. No, I don't mind that scene, but I think it does a good job too of almost making her look crazy or seem crazy.
Oh yeah,
because she is being dramatic about
extremely
everything, and so and you can tell on Owen's face, he's like, is she being serious that she buried herself? Because she's asking me to try and kill myself too. And so he obviously doesn't want to go through with it, but then she does, I guess.
Yeah.
Because she does know the truth. But I think it does a good job of like, this is what the plot actually is, but now I'm going to gaslight you into believing
that she's nuts.
That she's crazy, yeah.
The thing is that I'm saying with her character, do you know the actress's name?
Yeah, Sheldon knows.
Sheldon is the fat cat that lives here.
I literally saw it. It's like she got like 2 last names. It's got a hyphen. I don't remember it though, off the top of my head.
Whatever it is, but
he's scratching at the door.
Sheldon. I don't really want to. I take back a little bit what I said. I don't really want to blame her for her acting. I think they gave her character a little bit of a shitty script.
Okay, I was thinking about it. Watching.
Because I feel like that character made the movie kind of cringy and it made it kind of cliche a little bit.
I can see that. I was thinking about it. That like, just how absurd I will give her credit like how to like pull off an authentic character where your character is that you're
borderline nuts.
Well, you're borderline nuts, but like you're reality. You're not in a real reality. Your reality is a fucking TV show. Like that's such a weird concept.
I would just accept it at that point. I'd be like, you know what? Either way, I'm screwed.
Yeah. Well, okay. So when I first watched it, my takeaway, and this is, Owen. This shows him wearing a dress a few times because he's Isabel. Mm-hmm. And so I
did not get that. I thought he was just doing some drag, I guess.
No, well, I think this is like, and I looked it up online, like after we left the theater, that like this is honestly kind of like I called it like trans people.
I heard about that too, and I got very confused.
Yeah, well, like because he's Owen, but then he's like Isabella or Isabel, whatever her name is like in his body. Mm-hmm. So it's like a woman literally trapped in a man's body, like quite literally. But
that's the thing. I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, well, one thing I want to talk about that it's so unnecessary to mention, but I have to. The show The Pink Opaque that they were watching fucking sucks.
It was giving me...
It's so fucking stupid.
It was giving me Goosebumps vibes.
It was giving me Goosebumps mixed with somehow Power Rangers, and I got tired of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I will give the costume designer and the make it like kind of sick costumes.
But the ice cream thing?
I think it's so fun. Like, it's so fun.
There's a deranged ice cream man in it.
Yeah, and then the henchmen that are like, what are they? Marco and Polo, I think is their names. That's a fun costume.
Oh yeah, I see it. The moon dude, I didn't like. Oof.
No, he's creepy.
Remind me of like do you remember have you ever watched the big like Bear in the Big Blue House or something like that with the moon?
True. No, it's
It reminded me of a fucked up version of that.
That's fair. I thought it was funny because it shows him like, and his face kind of morphs around, and then it goes to black, and then it comes out of black for a second, and he's pogging. He's like, I'm like, he's so funny.
Like wild.
And then it goes back to black.
I think that the camera work though is really the biggest thing in the movie.
The lighting design, because it's the
colors
too. It's like pink and like blue.
He's in the closet.
And then gay.
That's gotta get cut.
No. And it's like pinks, greens, and blues mostly with some purples.
Yeah.
Which is it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And it's got the music. The music's great.
I keep fucking hitting this table, but it's definitely a very visually pleasing movie. Until he rams his head into a TV, I was like, what?
Yeah, fair.
I'm focusing on pretty colors, and now he's almost dead. What the hell is happening?
But the music's great too, because as soon as I left the theaters, I was adding fucking
I
songs.
added one of the songs from the movie immediately as I was watching it.
Oh yeah, no, it's so good.
But what else about it?
Yeah.
I feel like we should talk about the ending a lot more though, and how it kind of ties into the rest of the movie, because I think the ending was my favorite part, not because it was over, but
because it fucking sucks.
Sucks. But More so because of the fact that it's like, it was so out of nowhere. And honestly, I feel like that was like one of the loudest parts in the movie too. Because there's no jump scares in it or anything like intense. But I feel like that was the main part that was.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's. I just saw the director's name when I was looking up the actress's name. I don't remember what it was.
Whatever it is.
I need to see more of her shit though.
Oh yeah.
Because it's. I mean,
very trippy.
The title is stuck with me. It's good. But yeah, the ending. I mean, okay, this is my gripe with the ending. The one thing that I was like,
the one thing that you're like,
I'm like, why is he apologizing? Like, he knows now that his reality is fake. Why are you fucking talking to these people? Just get the fuck out of it.
I feel like it was more acceptance than anything, and kind of, I guess, regret for not going with Maddie.
Maybe.
But I feel like now that like I went on that whole tangent of what I just realized moments ago, I feel like him kind of cutting his chest open and seeing the TV static. I feel like that was him realizing that he is back in the
the midnight realm
again.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing when he like rammed his head into the TV and then he was like throwing up. And it was like, was it static also?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was.
It's like, it's blue. It's like the Luna juice. That's like
exactly. I feel like that was him. Like,
them.
I feel like that was him coming out of it. But then when he watched the show again, and then he ended up in that job, and he was rapidly aging and cut open his chest. I feel like that was him realizing it and kind of just accepting it.
Yeah,
and that's kind of why he was apologizing, because he's like, I can't do shit about it now.
No, I think it has such a good reveal to like, oh, this is a fake reality.
Yeah.
I
feel like it's very subtle that you can miss it though.
Yeah, I think if you're not paying attention, because it doesn't.
I was. Okay. I'm just stupid.
Yeah. Because like he goes into the planetarium or whatever the fuck it's called with Maddie, and Maddie's explaining her experience discovering it, but then obviously like you can interpret that as her being crazy if you don't believe.
Because he's basically just looking at her like.
Because it kind of reads too, like not that it's a fake reality, but it's these two people. Like it's this girl who's just mentally gone, who's now roped him in. Yeah. And now convincing him. Yeah. Because also he's like not very social. Like he doesn't have friends in the movie other than Maddie.
That's another thing that I mentioned to you that I do want to talk about.
Yeah.
There is also a theory with I Saw the TV Glow that Owen's autistic.
Maybe.
Which is very interesting if you think about the movie again, because it kind of makes a little bit of sense.
I mean,
not in a bad way, but I'm saying more that like it kind of does connect couple things, I guess.
That could be another, like how a lot of people see it as a trans allegory. It could be that, seeing it, I think a lot of people on the spectrum see the world a lot differently.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, he's seeing the world a lot differently because it's like not real to him. But I think, the reveal, like I was saying, I think that's probably my favorite scene in the movie because it is kind of subtle, but it is so fun how they do it. They don't just like feed it to you. It's like he watches the season 5 finale, the last episode, and then Mr. Melancholy is like holding a snow globe that is like an animated version of the first shot of the movie with him sitting at the TV. I just think that's so fun.
It reminded me like the reveal, even though it was so subtle, it reminded me of kind of, have you seen Don't Worry Darling?
Yeah. Yes.
We're definitely watching that again at some
that's
point.
A good one. Yeah.
It reminded me of that because the thing is with Don't Worry Darling, I wouldn't say that that was subtle. It was more of like kind of climbing to it.
Yeah.
And that I thought was so sick.
And it has its moments too, because I remember
that movie's fantastic. I don't know why it got crappy reviews.
I think just like people were hating on it because
Harry Styles.
Well, but like the cast was hating each other at the time for some reason.
Florence Pugh is a god. That's all I can say.
Yeah, she's chill.
I love the comparison.
She's cool.
She's okay.
She fucking threw a steak on the ground to get eaten out, but whatever.
As she should.
But that's a different.
I would do it too.
What the fuck were we talking about before that?
The reveal.
Yeah. Because there's scenes in that movie, in Don't Worry Darling, where they're like they close the blinds and it's like for like a frame, but you see her like the last shot of the movie with her eye being pried open.
Again, so sick.
Yeah, super cool. But yeah, final thoughts on that movie?
it left me confused, and I figured out more in the last 5 minutes about the movie than I did while watching it.
Okay, fair enough.
It was good, though. And again, like I said before, how I was saying, like, who kind of stole it. Obviously, it's Justice Smith. He took that role and ran with it, especially in the second half. The second half is fantastic.
Also, I don't know why sometimes he'll, like, speak, and it's, like, very gravelly, very low, and I'm like, it just adds so much to it. It's like, it's weird, this kind of weird texture.
I love the narrating. I loved how you see him narrating instead of just being background noise.
Yeah, and I think it even, calls back to it at some point.
The other thing that I noticed with that, I'm talking about this movie over time now, but
you're fine.
The other thing I noticed is that when he, like, after he throws up the Luna juice, he is narrating, but he's not talking. So I think that could also go hand in hand with him being out of the Midnight Realm. But again, these are all my theories that I just put together in a matter of 15 minutes.
Well, because that's a good point. Also, there's a line somewhere in the movie. I don't know if he narrates it or someone's maybe Maddie said, I don't remember, but about it being fake and like about narration and
Maddie said it.
Yeah, and then.
Because that's why I was thinking about it, because I remember she said, like, do you ever feel like you're narrating your own
life? Yeah, and I'm like, oh, he's doing that. He's doing
it the whole movie.
He's doing that. That's exactly what it is, yeah. But yeah, it's a movie I still think about. I think about it, like, every day, and I like it a little bit more. I think about it every day when I'm at work,
when I'm on the toilet,
when I'm shitting. No, it's just...
it's very well made.
It's super well made. The director, whatever her fucking name is, I think Shoebron.
We love you.
Shoebron's the last name.
I thought you said Shoebox. I was like, we love you, Shoebox.
You're sick. But yeah, it's very good. It stuck with me. It stuck with me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's a movie.
Stuck with me too. It stuck with me more after I was thinking about it a while after I watched it, rather than like right after.
Same. That, and I didn't like it a ton. I liked it. I wasn't sure if I liked it.
That's how I felt after I watched it.
Yeah, and the more I think about it, the more I like it. The more it's like climbing. Like Saltburn's my favorite movie, but it's climbing up. It won't beat Saltburn, but it's.
You are not making me watch Saltburn.
So we're gonna watch our favorite movies next week.
Sheldon's jingling in the closet, so that means it's almost time to go.
I guess so. But next episode, we're watching the Terrifier movie.
I thought we were going to be subtle and not spoil it.
Oh, I thought we were the fucking teaser.
I thought we were going to be like, oh, we're going to be terrified next week.
Well, it's like book club. It's like book club.
It's book club.
It's book club. Because if you want to freaking watch the Terrifier movies and then come to the podcast.
And then come back, all five of you.
All
both of you.
Me. And I will come back to this fucking video.
We're just talking to ourselves.
Yeah, I do it a lot.
So does Owen.
I'm Owen, dude. I'm kind of Owen. I think I'm.
Oh, that makes me Maddie. That's sad.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think this was a solid first
episode, and we are covering the entire Terrifier series next week.
That's right. The third one just came out, so I'm very excited. I haven't seen the second one. I've seen part of the first one, so I gotta see that.
It's rough.
Okay, good.
It's rough. That's all I can really give you right now.
Well, thank you all of you for...
Thank you both of you
for watching. And tune in.
We're going to try to do better next week.
That's right. Tune in next week for...
Whenever this comes out.
Yeah. Goodbye.